Hello and welcome to HMIS 103. Interim updates, household additions, and corrections. I am your trainer, HMIS Program Specialist, Cindy Flores. In this session, I will be demonstrating how to create an interim update, how to add an additional household member to an existing entry, and how to make small corrections in HMIS. Please note that if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at HMIS Help Desk via email at hmisssupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and let's get started. First, I will demonstrate how to add an interim update. This is how we document any change in the client status during their stay in your project. This could include such items as a change in income, benefits, health insurance, and education level, and etc. Let's talk about the definition of an annual assessment versus an update. Annual assessment. A mandatory interim update required for long-term projects such as transitional or permanent housing projects. This must be recorded on a client's record around the anniversary date of their particular entry date. It must be done within 30 days, plus or minus of the client's anniversary date. Even if there is no change in the client's status, an annual assessment must be documented on their record in HMIS via interim updates. Please remember, if you work with families, then all family members must have an annual assessment done within 30 days, plus or minus of their own unique anniversary date. If everyone entered at the same time, this can be done easily by including everyone in your update at once. But if the family has scattered entry dates, then the updates will have to be done separately. Update. Any change in a client's status after the intake date, but not on the annual anniversary date. This type of interim update is optional for long-term transitional and permanent housing projects, but it is required for rapid rehousing and homeless prevention projects for clients that must be recertified at 90-day intervals. Now I'm going to show you how to create an interim update. I'm going to go over to Service Point Training Site. Enter data to the appropriate project if applicable. Up at the top right-hand corner is Enter Data As. Here you would choose the project you want to work with. Underneath we have Backdate. Backdate to the change that the status was reported if applicable. For this example, I'm going to backdate to 3/1/2014. Now let's go over to the menu bar here on the left side of the screen, and I'm going to go over to Client Point. Here you can search by the client's name or the HMIS client ID if you have that available. On the client record, click on the Entry and Exit tab. Do not ever use the Assessment tab to update any records. Find your project's line of entry and click on the Interim's icon button here. Click Add Interim Review button on the pop-up window. Select the interim review type from the drop-down list, Update or Annual Assessment, and ensure the review date matches a client's reported date of status, and then click Save and Continue. The appropriate update assessment will automatically populate depending on the project type. Do not ever use the entry assessment to update a change in status. First, I'm going to change the no income source to a yes income source. So first I'm going to change the total monthly income amount from a 0 to the monthly amount, for this example, $1,200. Then I'm going to change the income source question from no to yes, because now they are receiving income. Then third, click on the magnifying glass here in the monthly income sub-assessment. And every time you see this, it is a sub-assessment. Find the income source on the list that is changing. And you can click Show All Monthly Income header to sort the existing income. So it would be Receiving Income Source. So for this example, we're going to open up Earned Income. Click the pencil icon to open the record. For a monthly amount, put in 0. The software will force you to do this if you try and save without it. Put in an end date, the day before the new income is starting, so this would be 2/28/2014. And then click Save. Scroll to the bottom of Show All Monthly Income Records window and click the Add button down below to add in the new income. Fill out the new income source here in this window, and for this example it's going to be earned income with a monthly amount of $1,200, and the receiving income source is going to be yes. And then click Save. And click the Exit button down at the bottom right-hand corner to leave this pop-up. Scroll down to non-cash benefits from any source, and we're going to change the no benefit to a yes benefit. Change the non-cash benefit from any source question from no to yes. Click the magnifying glass next to the non-cash benefit sub-assessment header to see current status of all benefits all at once if your HUD verification is checked green here, which it is. Once the Show All Non-Cash Benefit Record window is open, click on Receiving Benefit to sort any existing benefits yes to the top if applicable. Find the benefit that is changing. In this example, it's going to be food stamps. Click the pencil to open it up, and then put in an end date here on the old no benefit. The end date should be the day before the new benefit is starting, which is 2/28/2014, and then click Save. Click the Add button down below to add in the new benefit. Fill out the new benefit window, food stamps, and then click Yes to Receiving Benefit. Click Save, and then click Exit to exit out of this pop-up window. And then let's scroll over to the disability. Let's say now that my client reported to me that that the client is disabled. Okay, I'm going to change the Does the client have a disability question from no to yes. Then after looking at my HUD verification, make sure it's green checked. I'm going to go over to the magnifying glass. Then click on Disability Determination to sort any existing disabilities to the top if applicable. Edit the disability that is changing. So for this example, I'm going to say physical. Click on the pencil icon to open it up. Then add in an end date for the no, they do not have this disability because they didn't have the disability add entry. So we have to put in an end date here, which is 2/28/2014, and then click Save. Okay, if you've missed a question, it will come up as red and saying that you have to answer this question. So we're going to answer it no, because no, they don't have this disability type. So click Save, and then we can click the Add button to add in the disability. Okay, the disability type is going to be physical. Disability determination is going to be, it must be yes. If yes, expect it to be of long continued and indefinite duration and substantially impairs ability to live independently, this also must be yes. If yes, documentation of the disability and severity on file, this also must be yes. Skip the 2 questions related to PAF teams only, which are these 2. And then let's go over to if yes, currently receiving services or treatment. Probably yes if they were just diagnosed. So I'm going to say yes to that. Above condition is going to be long-term. This also must be yes. Okay, and then click Save once you've answered all these questions. And then exit to get out of this pop-up window. Okay, and that was the first example. So once you're done with all the updates, click Save and Exit. And it will take you back over to the window summary assessment or window summary preview pane. And now you've created one interim update on 3/1/2014. The review type is an update, and the client count was 1 client. So now I'm going to exit here. Second interim example. I'm going to backdate to 6/1/2014. I'm going to go over to the interims icon, add interim review. Interim review type is going to also be an update, because I'm going to say this client came to me a few months later to update with me that they got a raise. So then click Save and Continue. I'm going to double check to make sure that I'm on the Universal Update Assessment. Okay, first, I'm going to change the text field box total monthly income from the old amount to the new amount, which my client reported that he got a raise and now he's making $2,000 a month. Second, I'm going to verify that the income from any source question is still a yes. Third, we click the magnifying glass next to the monthly income sub-assessment header. Then also double check that the HUD verification is green checked, which it is. Once the Show All Monthly Income Records window is open, click on the monthly amount header to sort any existing income to the top. Okay, so I'm going to open up the old income by clicking the pencil icon in the same column. Never ever delete any income or any old income. You always want to reflect the change. So we're going to put in an end date of 5/31/2014. The end date should be the day before the new benefit is starting. Be sure to leave this yes, receiving income source, because this now signifies that the client was receiving benefits in between those dates. Then click Save. Scroll to the bottom of Show All Monthly Income Records window and click the Add button to add in the new income. Fill out the new income source amount here, the source of income. It's going to be earned income because they are still working. And the total monthly amount is $2,000. And then for the receiving income source, it's going to be yes. And then click Save. And then exit to get out of this pop-up window. Now I'm going to scroll down to Covered by Health Insurance because my client no longer qualifies for Medicaid because of their raise. So here, Covered by Health Insurance, I'm going to change this question from a yes to a no. Then click the magnifying glass next to the Health Insurance Sub-Assessment header to see current status of benefits all at once. Then click Covered, the Covered header, to sort any existing benefits to the top if applicable. Okay, then click the pencil icon to open it up. You do not have to answer these hop-up questions if this does not apply to you. Then put in an end date here, and the end date should be the day before the new benefit or the benefit is changing. So we're going to put 5/31/2014 and then click Save. Okay, we have to leave this at yes because between those dates, between the start date and the end date, they were receiving the benefit. Okay, then I'm going to click Exit because I want to show you this example here. If you exit out of a sub-assessment, whether it is income, non-cash benefits, health insurance, or disability, without adding in the no new benefit, you have to click the HUD verification because the check mark got kicked off. So now we have an alerter here saying that the HUD verification is not filled out. So click the HUD verification, and you see here for Medicaid, it is now marked incomplete. Well, we have to answer this no, they are not receiving any insurance. So we have to say no to this and then click Save and Exit. So now the HUD verification creates a new timestamp of 6/1/2014, which is the day you did the interim. The health insurance type is Medicaid. In their covered, it's now no. So this is just to verify that they are not receiving benefits. Okay, so now once we're done with all of the updates, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save and Exit. And it will return you back to the interim review window pane summary. So we've created an interim update on 3/1/2014 and also on 6/1/2014. Click Exit to get out of this pop-up. Now I'm going to show you how to add an additional household member to an existing project entry. You do not need a backdate when adding an additional household member. So I will turn off my backdate for this part of the demonstration. I'm going to use a new client. So I'm going to go over to Client Point in the menu bar to the left of the screen here. Here you can search by the client's name or down below by the client's HMIS ID. Find the head of household for your family group and click on the Households tab. Please note, do not ever delete a household member from an existing household unless that person has died. Neither should you create another household when the household composition changes. You are able to exclude an old household member from project entries if needed, or add new members to it as needed. If you have an unusual circumstance, or the client already has multiple households, please contact the HMIS Help Desk for assistance in how to proceed. Click on Manage Household underneath the existing household. Click on the Add or Delete Household Members button. Expand the Add Clients to Household area by clicking the black arrow. And here, under Client Search, search for the new household member either by name or client ID number. Note, if you believe this client may be new to the system, for instance, a small child, be sure to fill out in all the data you can gather on the search screen because you will be creating a new client record right now. So I am going to create my new client. Because I'm creating a child, I am not required to answer the military veteran question status. But if I was creating an adult, I would be required to answer this question. If the client was already in the system, then choose them from the client results here by clicking the green plus sign icon. If the client is not already in the system, click Add New Clients. Add New Client with this information here. Either way, the new client's name should end up at the bottom of the screen under Selected Clients here. So click Add New Client with this information. This pop-up is going to ask, you're about to add a new client to the system. Be sure to look for all possible matches before continuing this process. Continue with Add New Client, okay? And then click Continue down at the bottom right-hand side. Find the new client on the Head of Households member list and designate the relationship to the Head of Household. So I'm going to say that this is the Head of Household's daughter. If they joined the family a few days ago, change the date here. Okay, once you've done that, then click Save and Exit down at the bottom. Now, while still on the Head of Household's client record, click on the Entry and Exit tab. Find the line of entry into your project and edit the entry by clicking the pencil icon in front of the entry date. Note, there is a button on the first pop-up that says Include Additional Household Member. Do not use this button. Click Save and Continue. Find the household member associated with this entry, which is here, and underneath, everyone's name is now viewed, so click Include Additional Household Members. Find the new client in the family group and check their name. Go to the entry date here and manually change the date to the actual date that this new household member entered. It defaults to the Head of Household entry. Do not use this date. So I'm going to use 2/27/2015. This date should be the same date you added to the Households tab. Click Save and Continue. You are back on the Head of Household Assessment screen. Scroll to the linear listing of the household members to the left of the screen here. Select the new household member from the list and complete the new client's Maricopa UDE assessment, and then the universal assessment and any other custom assessments needed if applicable to your project or grant. This should be done per the instructions you received in HMIS 101B or 102B. Fill out the UDE for the child. That's all I need to fill out for the client, for the new client. And then once you have completed all of the client's assessments, click Save and Exit. And here, in this same column of the entry, click on Client Count to verify the new client is added to the entry with the correct date. Okay, click Exit to get out of this window. Next, I will show you how to correct small data entry errors in HMIS. You will usually be opening up an existing entry, interims, or exit when doing corrections, so you do not need to be in backdate mode. However, more complicated corrections may require you to use backdate mode. Please contact the help desk for more assistance if you have any questions. For this example, I'm going to edit a mistake made by my project on the client's entry assessment into my project. For instance, let's say I need to change the date of birth at entry. In the Entry and Exit tab, find the project's entry. Click on the Edit pencil icon to the left of the project entry date. The Entry and Exit window will pop up. Click Save and Continue. The Maricopa UDE assessment will default. And here's where you should make the correction, since this is where the original answer was recorded. Find the answer that needs to be corrected, and for this example, it's the date of birth. I'm going to change it from 1973 to 1974. Okay, scroll to the bottom of the assessment and click Save. Do not click Save and Exit because you are not done. So after you click Save, scroll back up to the date of birth. Question. Note. You may have noticed in the past that when you complete an assessment and save it, you will either see the answer age color bars appear, and these are the age color bars, or change in color. The darker the color, the older the answers are. However, this answer age color bar is also how we access the history of the answer. Click on the color bar next to the answer you just corrected. In this date of birth window summary, you will see date effective, the date the answer was originally answered here. User adding, provider adding, and value, which means the answer given. In this case, the date effective is the same. Delete the wrong answer by clicking the trash can icon to the left of the column. So we need to delete the 1973 answer. This pop-up will appear to ask you if you're sure you want to delete this answer. You click Yes. Review the date effective answers, and if the date or timestamps are the same, delete the wrong answer, as we just did. However, when you review the date effective of both answers, if the wrong answer has an older date timestamp, you do not need to delete it. Click X of the history window to get out of the pop-up, and then click Save and Exit down at the bottom of the screen when you have completed making the corrections. If you have a more complicated error to fix, please contact the HMIS Help Desk for assistance. Next, I will show you how to make corrections on the client's profile record. For this example, I'm going to correct the misspelling of my client's name. So go over to Client Profile tab to the left here. Click on the pencil icon to the left of the client record header. And we're going to edit the name as so. Here you can also edit Social Security number and the U.S. military veteran questions. Please make sure that the name data quality or the Social Security data quality reflect each other. So if you have the full name reported, please make sure it says full name reported, not partial. Okay, click the Save button to save the answers. With this, we have completed the demonstration. Now I will give you a quick summary to recap. These are key points that we touched during the training video. To add an interim update, an annual assessment, or an update, use the Entry and Exit tab and click on the Interim's icon. It is mandatory for transitional and permanent housing projects to do an annual assessment on clients plus or minus 30 days of their anniversary entry date into your project. On the Universal Update Assessment, some of the categories you can update are income, non-cash benefits, health insurance, and disability. Once any source in the sub-assessment category of income, non-cash benefits, health insurance, and disability are marked yes, they are receiving it, then it will always remain yes. Do not change it to no in the sub-assessment, even if you are creating an end date. This is because once you end a source, the yes means it was true between the start and end dates. To create a new household grouping or to add to an existing household grouping, go to the Households tab. When managing a household, please never delete a household member from a household unless they are deceased. Always create the new households member entry from the Head of Households record, not their own record. When making corrections on a client's record, you do not have to use backdate mode. By following these steps and working through the system, you have completed training on interim updates, household member additions to an existing entry, and data entry corrections. As a reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and please refer back to your training confirmation email for further assistance.